All right, it looks like we're holding steady, so we can go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone. My name is Maggie Fox, and I'm with the Plano Public Library, and I want to thank you all for joining today's program. Please note that your microphones and videos have been turned off, but we do welcome questions, which you can either type into the chat box or into the Q&A box. Nova is my partner today, and she and I will be monitoring those chat and Q&A boxes to help you with any issues and answer any questions. And speaking of, we'll make sure to have some time at the end of the presentation to answer any questions about what has been presented today, along with some information about the library that we are looking forward to sharing with you all. So please note that this program is being recorded and will be made available on the Plano Public Library YouTube page for later viewing. Let's get started. So, cities provide many services for their residents, and doing the work requires good people. So today, and in the next two sessions, which are April 11th and April 25th, you'll find out more about different departments and how they serve the city of Plano and its residents. And then you can learn the types of job opportunities that are found in the city. And this week's department is the library. Yay. So I am going to be presenting on behalf of the library. My name is Maggie Fox, and I am the programming manager for Plano Public Library. And the Engage brochure that you can pick up at any of the libraries is the main part of my job, but more on that in just a little bit. So first, I want to touch upon the public library as a whole, because public libraries are all around the country and all around the world. Public libraries are driven by some core principles that are found throughout the profession. These core values include the idea that libraries provide access. This means that libraries level the playing field by serving all ages, all income levels, and then they provide a full range of information resources needed to live, learn, govern, and work. Libraries also build community. They serve as social hubs for the people around in order to connect and engage with one another. And then libraries are committed to helping both children and adults develop the skills that they need to survive and thrive. It's a pretty awesome profession to be a part of. Here at PPL, that's Plano Public Library, our mission is to serve the community by being a place for information and resources. This is reflected in our vision, which is to be a valuable resource and partner that connects and serves our community with excellence. And we do this by providing a welcoming environment for engaging our community, enriching lives, and educating minds. So, what conjures up in your mind when I say the word library? You might be thinking of a really old, dusty, full of books place with librarians that are very stern and shushing you to make sure you're quiet. But that is no longer the reality. If you've been into one of our libraries recently, you have experienced this. Public libraries are hubs for the community to gather and engage and learn. It's literally a buzz, and that's so exciting for us. Don't get me wrong, there are still times and spaces where the libraries are quiet, like when we first open, or maybe on a Thursday night at 8 p.m. So if you are searching for a quiet place, this is something we can help you find. But we will not shush anyone unless they are violating the code of conduct. At PPL, we want to be known as #MoreThanBooks. We provide so many opportunities, resources, and tools for the community, including books and ebooks, audiobooks and e-audiobooks, magazines, streaming services, access to newspapers around the world, homework and test prep tools like tutor.com and Learning Express Library. We have career and development training such as this and additional resources and tools like LinkedIn Learning and Udemy. We have 3D printers seen on this slide and also some special computers with Adobe Creative Suite. We have seating all around the library with tables, comfy chairs, high top bar stool tables if you want to stand and work, a variety of options for you to best meet your needs. And with that, we also go out into the community and share what the library has to offer. And finally, we offer over 3,000 classes and programs each year to learn something new, socialize with each other, and have fun. At PPL, we do have 5 locations, and we work really hard to ensure that the community has a consistent experience at each location. There will naturally be some differences depending on the building, the size of it, and what services we're able to offer there. But when you go into a Plano library, our desire is that it looks and feels and your interactions with staff are consistent no matter which building you go into. So while we might all be called librarians because we work in the library, there are a variety of job titles and roles in and out of the building. So I'm going to go over quite a few of those roles in the next part of this presentation. First, I want to highlight the entry-level position in the library called the Library Services Representative, LSR for short. This is a frontline position in which staff relies on customer service skills. There are anywhere from 14 to 27 LSRs in a given building, with a variety of full-time and part-time positions. I went to the next slide. They are typically the staff member that you will first encounter when you visit the library, sitting at the information desk, shelving books, pulling holds, presenting programs, story times. A lot of those are our LSRs. They can help you if you need help with some technology using the public computers. They can help you check out using our self-check machines, or if you have an issue with your account, the LSR is probably helping you out. There are a few positions within the library that offers a job progression. So time spent in that role makes you then elevated into the second part of that role, and that would be LSR2. This position does require a high school diploma or a GED equivalent. When we're hiring for this role, which we are often doing because this is the biggest position that we have in our system in the terms of number of positions, and we are constantly hiring LSRs, both part-time and full-time, we really look for candidates that have some customer service skills and knowledge and experience, because you are going to be out on the floor helping patrons, helping the community, and we want to offer really great customer service. Now, the LSRs are supervised by library support supervisors, the LSS for short. And there are about 2 to 3 LSS in each building, and these are all full-time positions. They are there to guide and coach the LSR staff. And when we're hiring for this position, we do look for individuals with supervisory experience, and library knowledge is also really beneficial. We do have official librarians in our system, like the LSRs. They are out on the public floor helping you all with your questions. However, we do rely on our librarians to handle more in-depth questions. So if you have a more difficult technology question, you'll probably speak to a librarian. If you are really into deep research question, you're probably going to be linked up with a librarian to help you. And librarians offer reader's advisory. Reader's advisory is the process that we use to help you find your next read. We ask what you're interested in. What have you read recently that you liked? What have you read recently that you didn't like? And a few more other questions to help find you that book that you're hoping to find. And to piggyback on that, librarians also utilize a process called reference interview to get to the root of your question. So if you often come to the library and ask a question, a librarian, we typically follow it up with another question and you give a response, and then we'll ask another question. You'll give a response, and we might ask even more questions after that because we want to get to the root of your question so we find the most accurate information, resource, item possible. We want to get the right thing into your hands. So bear with us as we ask the questions. We want to do this to get what exactly you're looking for. There is a team of librarians. They help me put together our programming schedule. We do 3 program planning sessions a year, and this is reflected in our Engage brochures. So we have a spring brochure, a summer brochure, and a fall brochure. So I have a team of librarians that help me select, schedule, and work with other staff to plan all those programs, those 3,000 plus programs a year. So to be a public services librarian, you do need a master's degree in library or information science. Luckily, there are 2 colleges in Denton with this program. So that does mean there's quite a few librarians in this area, but if you so want to be a librarian, we got 2 great schools nearby to do so. And then after a year in being in the position, there is a job progression to become a public services librarian senior. So a little bit of my background and how I got to the library. I grew up in Garland, just down the road. I didn't quite know what I wanted to do. I just knew I was really into government and political science. So that's what I did in college. I graduated from SMU in Dallas with a degree in political science. Still not quite sure what I wanted to do with that. But at the same time, they were just breaking ground on the Bush Library on campus, and there was a light bulb moment. Huh, I could go to library school. And so I enrolled. And while in library school at UNT, I started working as an LSR at the Davis Library and found my calling. The public library is a super fun place to work because each day is different. You get to interact with the community, help the community, inspire, engage, all those fun buzzwords. It's fulfilling. It's a really fulfilling career track. So if there is an interest there and you want more information about it, let me know. And after being an LSR at Davis Library, I did become a youth LSR, and then I became a librarian and spent some time at the Frisco Public Library, but came back to Plano because that's where my heart is. As a public services librarian, moved into librarian supervisor role, and now programming manager. Speaking of librarian supervisor, this is the team that supervises our librarians, and there's one in each building. They support by providing the building manager. They support the building manager. They provide guidance on all building matters such as reference, programming. If there's any sort of issue that we tend to, hey, librarian supervisor, can you come help us out? And they will because they're magical. And these are still librarians, so they require a master's degree of library or information science. And when we're hiring for this position, we do look for individuals who have had at least 3 years of public library experience along with supervisory experience. At each location, you might not know this, we do have administrative assistants. They are typically not out on the public floor unless they really want to get out there and shelve or do a program. They're more behind the scenes doing a lot of that typical office work. So compiling reports, ordering office supplies, um, scheduling interviews for positions, all that sort of administrative work. And there is one admin assistant at each building. Down in the basement of Haggard Library, which is where I am today, is our technical services team. This team includes techs and librarians, and they, on a day-to-day basis, process incoming materials. You might have heard our UPS delivery just happened, so there was some fun going back and forth with her. Yes, we get all the deliveries. We process all those books or items, movies, make sure the barcodes are correct, make sure the catalog record is correct, and then they send those items out to the 5 locations for you all to check out. This team, Library Technical Services, also includes our selectors, and these are librarians who order all of our materials, including ebooks. So there are certain authors that we have on immediate recurring orders, such as James Patterson. As soon as a James Patterson book is announced, we're already putting that in our cart. It's automatically going there. And then they'll process it when it gets here. But the selectors read reviews, read a variety of sites and resources to figure out what materials to purchase for the library. And with that, we do require a lot of library knowledge for both of these positions, the tech and the selector, because there's a lot to know going into the library and understanding cataloging and the processes that all involves. So we look for candidates who have had previous library experience to join the Library Technical Services team. Also in the basement is the programming and engagement team. It's my team. Really enjoy this team. This team is responsible for a lot of things. They create marketing materials and graphics, signage you see in the library, the brochure that I keep on lifting up, a variety of graphics. They post and interact with the community on our social media channels. They help connect to organizations, companies, nonprofits around the city to be our partners in programming and services. They respond to outreach requests. So this is where a business, a school, a nonprofit requests the library to come to them so we can present on library information. We can present classes such as computer basics in Excel. We'll go do story time at PISD's Head Start. So this is us going out into the community, and the programming and engagement team organizes that. The team also coordinates and provides structure for all of our staff training, because with our consistent experience approach, we need to train and support our staff with the knowledge to make it consistent across the 5 locations. And this team also maintains our website. So we make sure that everything there is as accurate as possible. So we do all the things here in the basement. So finally, in PPL, we have a director, an assistant director, 5 building managers, a technical services manager, and a programming manager. That's me. And like I mentioned previously, my job is to work with teams across the system and across locations to plan and present all of our programs in and out of the buildings. It can include our big events such as the upcoming Community Art Night on April 9th, or the solar eclipse we have coming up on April 8th. There'll be activities at all 5 locations if you're interested. We also have computer classes for adults, story times for kids, science classes for kids, book clubs for adults on a regular basis. So make sure to check our website to see what all options there are. And what do I like best about my job? I love doing puzzles, and planning our programming schedule for the library is like putting together a big 3D puzzle. There are so many moving pieces to consider, like what programs work at what buildings, what days, times should we do a specific program, what do we have the staff knowledge for a certain program? Does the program fit within our strategic plan? All those pieces are moving around, and I have to find all those pieces working with the team to put it all together in order to have a planning calendar for you all to attend. So, and ultimately, that is why so many of us have been called to this profession, is because we do like to solve puzzles. We want to take the hardest question you might have and find an answer for it. And when we find the answer, there's just so much excitement that we'll feel. And I love that feeling. So diving into what we have to offer with you all as you go on some job and career searches, whether you're looking for a new job or you want to switch careers or you want to learn something new or you want to build upon your skills and knowledge for your given profession, the public library has resources for you. So we have skill building resources, including LinkedIn Learning. If you have a library card, you have free access to LinkedIn Learning, and that includes thousands of courses and certificates on so many paths: project management, financial management, leadership, marketing, etc. We have technology, we have digital creativity, 3 buildings in the system. Harrington, Haggard, and Parr have digital creation spaces that have specialized computers and equipment to do video editing, video production, audio recording, all sorts of digital creative activities. We have job search resources. So there's a job and career toolkit, which you can find on Plano Library Learn's blog. Tutor.com, mentioned that previously, that has access to tutors. You can do one-on-one chat sessions with a tutor if you're needing help. They also will review resumes, which is really cool. If you're doing some business research, we have access to reference solutions. Again, with career exploration, there's Learning Express Library that has access to a variety of career tests. And Book a Librarian. If you are wanting one-on-one 30-minute help on a given subject, you can do a Book a Librarian request, and one of our librarians will sit down with you and help you out. Additionally, we have access to New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Harvard Business Review, Dallas Morning News, and tons of ebooks and e-magazines. Here are some upcoming classes for jobs and careers. So we'll continue doing this Exploring City of Plano jobs for 2 more sessions. That's again, April 11th and April 25th. We have a new calendar of programs that will be rolling out in May. So this current iteration will end in April, but never fear, we have more stuff coming out in the summer. And then if you're interested in any library position that we may have available right now, or any position within the city, you'll go to the city's website, so plano.gov/jobs, and you can see what all is available there. Do we have any questions? If you do, you can type those into the Q&A or the chat. And Nova has linked to the Research and Learn page that has LinkedIn Learning and all those databases, and then the City of Plano. I'm not seeing any questions come through. That's okay. If you think of something later, feel free to email me. My email is pretty easy. It's mfox, so that's fox@plano.gov. I want to thank you all for attending today, and I hope I was able to provide you with a little bit more information about the public library and PPL and what we have to offer. Thank you all for coming and have a wonderful afternoon.